Welcome students to the second part of chapter number 4. Let us start from page number 26, Inventions in the Field of Communication. In the 18th and the 19th century, many of the things came up. For example, printing press, internet, computer, telephone, telegraph. These were used to send messages to distant places. Number 1. Printing press. It was Johann Gutenberg of Germany who invented the printing press. You need to underline this in your book. Who invented the printing press? The first book to be printed was the Bible in 1455. These few lines are quite important for you to know that which was the first book to be printed. It was Bible and it was printed in 1455. The invention of the printing press introduced printed matter to the people. People then had access to books and other printed materials which were cheap and easily available. Now people could get books, newspapers and other different things in the printed form. They were cheap, easy to get, so people enjoyed them. People can now read the newspaper daily and know what is happening in their country and in the world. Newspapers are printed in several languages and continue to be an important means of communication all over the world even today. Now, newspapers have turned out to be a very important means of communication. They are printed even today. The basic purpose of printing newspapers is to make people aware of what is happening around them in the whole nation or in the world. For this, the newspapers are also printed in different languages so that each and every person of a country can buy and understand what is written in the newspaper. Come to page number 27. The next important invention was telephone and telegraph. The invention of telephone by Alexander Graham Bell became the easiest and the quickest means of communicating with each other. Yes, who invented telephone? Mr. Alexander Graham Bell. And telephone was quite a quick means of communication. Today we can talk to anyone in the world at any time on the telephone. Mobile cell phones that are battery operated and small can be carried with us wherever we go. Yes, if you need to communicate with anyone, if you need to communicate with your friends, with your relatives, or anyone in this world, you can just pick up your phone and call them up, right? And even mobile phones today are so useful that you can even take them anywhere or everywhere you go. The telegraph was another important means of sending urgent messages using electricity. Very short messages were sent by telegraphic means to reach its destination in a few hours. With the introduction of other fast messaging systems, the telegraph lost its importance. Now, another means of communication, which is known as telegraph, was also invented. But a few features of telegraph are urgent messages were sent. They were usually very short and they would reach their destination in a few hours. So, because of this reason, when the fast messaging systems or the other means of communication which were quite fast came up in the world, telegraph lost its importance. Now people no more use telegraph to communicate with their relatives or friends. Next, radio and television. The radio was invented by Guglielmo Marconi, an Italian inventor in 1895. This is again an important line, radio was invented by a man whose name was Guglielmo Marconi. He invented this radio in 1895. The radio soon became an important instrument for spreading awareness and providing entertainment. Some of the advantages of the radio are as follows. The radio can be used in remote areas where newspapers are not available. It is cheap and easily available. Now, I think many of you might not have seen a radio in your life. So do ask your parents what a radio look like, or you can even Google it up. Radios were a important means of entertainment also. People could not see things, but at least they could hear news, cricket matches, songs, okay, any kind of information they wanted, they could hear it very clearly on a radio. And many of its advantages are radio could reach remote areas. Remote areas means like villages, backward villages where newspapers and other means of communication could not reach. Radio was also cheap and easily available, so almost a large number of people in India had radio. It can reach out to both literates and illiterates. As in case of radio, we need not read anything or we need not speak anything. We just have to hear things, hear news. Okay. So, almost everyone, whether a person is literate or illiterate, पढ़ा लिखा है या नहीं है, it was understood by almost all. The pocket-sized transmitter can be carried around with us. The small radios of small sizes, could be carried around by everyone easily. While the radio helped broadcast news and entertainment programs, the television made a greater breakthrough because it presented visual images too. Now, immediately after radio, another invention which came up was the television. Television had many of the facilities which radio used to give us, but the very important feature that it had was we could see things what we can hear. If we are hearing a cricket match on a television, we can even see what actually is happening on the ground. So it had a great appeal to each and every one. People enjoyed watching television. People liked watching television. People could see what they were hearing and therefore it had a greater impact. See, I told you this one. The television is one of the most powerful medium of communication because it connects us globally. Globally means almost we get information of the whole world. Nowadays, almost every household has a television. The government realized its importance in educating and creating public awareness. Therefore, it installed television towers and television sets in remote villages. Now, the government has also realized that televisions are quite important to educate people or to make people aware of what is happening around in the world or in our country. So therefore, government has installed various towers for the signals and also installed many television sets in the villages as well. Let us continue with the next invention, computers and the internet. Computers provide all kinds of information based on the instructions or programs. Yes, computer works according to our instructions, right? I hope you have studied this in your computer subject. What instructions and programs we give to the computer work according to that, and it gives us the output. Initially, computers were large and bulky. Today, computers can be fitted onto a wristwatch. Yes, a difference that has come up in today's world is earlier computers were very large and very heavy. Bulky means very heavy. It wasn't easy to handle a computer. But now, a computer can easily be fitted inside a wristwatch. The need for a global inter-network led to the creation of the internet. The internet has made it possible for people to write and receive letters almost immediately from all over the world using the electronic mail or the email. Yes, there was a need to connect ourselves to people at different places in different countries, right? So for that, internet was developed. Through computers we could use internet, and with the help of the internet we can send messages or information to different people in living in different parts of the world in a few seconds through emails. Today, the internet service enables people to book their railway and air tickets and shop for gadgets, clothes, and food online. Yes, these are a few advantages that we enjoy from internet, right? We can book our railway tickets, air tickets, or we can even shop our clothes or different things through internet. Next, artificial satellites. Now you must be knowing there is only one natural satellite of Earth, that is the moon. But scientists have come up with the development of artificial satellites. Artificial means man-made satellites, which are installed in the space. Artificial satellites are now being used for long distance communication and have made it possible for us to view events as they happen in any part of the world. There are a number of artificial satellites that are orbiting the Earth. Now, you must have seen news or different movies or different things live. We can see different things live like a cricket match only because of these artificial satellites. With the help of these artificial satellites, things that are happening actually somewhere can be seen at the same time. Okay. Come to the next page, page number 29. Till now we have read about printing press, telephone, telegraph, radio, television, computer, internet, right? Now, other than these, there were a few more means of communication that have come up. Let us see that. A huge step in communication took place with the development of an organized postal system. It became an important service provided by many governments to their people. Letters written on email, inland mail, aerogram or postcard were delivered to the mail address written on them. Yes, postal system, chitti, right? We write our information, our messages, our news and everything on postcards and we keep those postcards inside an envelope and then our parents go and post it somewhere. Okay, that particular letter is being carried to the address what you have written on the envelope, right? And finally your message is being received by your relatives or your friends. So an organized postal system has also come up in a few years. Fax is a system whereby the receiver receives a reproduced document immediately. Yes, fax is actually a printer kind of a machine. Not actually a printer, but printer kind of a machine. Okay, people from other places, they put their messages written on a paper inside those machines, and we can get the same letter at different places, okay, with the help of this fax machine. These fax machines are usually connected to telephone pieces. The development of speed post and courier service have facilitated quicker and safer delivery of letters and parcels. Okay, not even letters, parcels, like if we want to send something, a gift, or some jewelry or anything. Okay, if you want to send a particular item to your relative or your friends, you can pack it nicely in a parcel, and even that parcel will reach your relative only because of this speed post and the courier service. So, these are a few means of communication with the help of which people have tried to connect themselves. People staying at different regions of the world connect themselves with these means of communication. I hope the chapter is clear. Thank you.